Hi, I'm Lisa Staniak from Life Like You Mean It, and I'd like to talk to you today about holding yourself back. Are you comfortably miserable? So let's talk about it. Are you getting in your own way of success, of happiness, of the life that you want? Are you stuck in patterns that you can't figure out why? Why do you keep choosing the wrong guy? Why do you surround yourself with the wrong people in your coven? Or why do you make a plan to better an area of your life and then it just never ends up coming to fruition? What is going on there? I would venture to say that you are what's going on there. And let me be clear, this is not a bashing video. I'm not on here trying to make you feel bad for not taking the steps that you need to take in order to create this life that you ultimately want to have. I'm here to tell you the exact opposite, really. If you are getting in your own way, you need to ask yourself, are you comfortably miserable? And if the answer to that is yes, then you need to own it. Now, at the heart of it, being comfortably miserable really means that you recognize that you are unhappy in certain areas of your life, or perhaps life in general, but you are actually comfortable there in that place. You might not exude that, right? You might be happy to be complaining about these different aspects of your life or a certain situation that you're in or whatever. And so you are outwardly expressing that this is something that you are not happy with and implying that you would like a change in that area. But the reality is that this is your comfort zone. This is where you would like to stay. And every time that you start to move outside of that comfort zone, it brings up a lot of anxiety and even fear and dread. And so you are unconsciously primarily, but even making some very conscious decisions about keeping yourself in this place. And so in a way, the complaining about the very things that you would like to change, that you're unhappy with, actually help you to stay feeling comfortable. And so you're never going to change those things until that comfortability becomes uncomfortable. Right? As soon as you decide that you are uncomfortable with this level of disappointment, negativity, whatever it is that's going on in your life, when you decide that you are uncomfortable here, it becomes more comfortable for you to take that step to then create the change. And until you reach that point, all you're going to do by trying to go out and convince yourself that you're going to make these changes in your life is you're going to create more anxiety and more of this fear. And that's going to drive you to give up on those things or not follow through or whatever it is your pattern is in order to bring you back to this comfort zone. And that will then play with that negative mantra that you've got in your head that then puts yourself down for the failure of not being able to follow through, of not being able to better this particular situation or whatever. Whereas when you're able to recognize all of this and understand this fact that, well, this is my comfort zone, and so I need to actually respect and honor my comfort zone and understand that the steps that I'm trying to make might just be slightly too large of steps. And if I just take it back a notch with the proper support, I might be able to actually move outside of this comfort zone in a greater way than what I've been doing before, because I'm honoring the fact and acknowledging the fact that I have some anxiety and fear. So fear takes on all kinds of shapes and sizes, right? What we are afraid of very specifically is going to be slightly different for everybody, obviously based on different experiences that you've had in life. But there are some commonalities to fear. Generally speaking, the things that we fear are the unknown, failure, and success. And the fear of the unknown, I think, is very obvious. That is, you don't know what it's like to live life other than the way that you've been living life in this case. If you've got negative self-talk and you keep burying yourself down, you keep keeping yourself in this comfort zone, and whatever changes that you want to make in life, whether you want to increase your confidence or your self-esteem, you want to tackle some of those limiting beliefs where you find yourself saying that you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, pretty enough, funny enough, capable enough, where you are comparing yourself constantly to others, always making sure that you fall short no matter what it is that that comparison is about. If you recognize that these things are there and you want to make those changes, literally the fear of the unknown is not knowing what that looks like. You've been doing this, you've been having this self-talk, or you've been getting in your own way of making progress and changes and, you know, changing patterns and habits and all of that type of stuff for a long time. For some of you, you may have had a particular event that has kind of acted as the catalyst of this. But for most of us, these are things that we have been doing since we were kids. Our core belief systems about the world around us and our place in it are developed when we are 7. Right? What did you understand of the world when you were just 7? Right? Things change, but our core beliefs that we establish by that age don't tend to change with our greater understanding of the world and our place in it. So really, it's a real tangible problem to think about what life would be like without being limited by those beliefs about your capabilities and your comparison with others. Now, that's wrapped up with your identity. That's who you are, who you think what you're capable of, what you deserve, that comparison with other people, your attitude, whether you have more of a negative mindset or a positive mindset, all of these things make up your identity. And part of that fear of the unknown is a fear of loss of who you are. You want to maintain your identity of who you are without keeping this kind of pattern of behavior in place, and you don't know what that looks like. So that is very scary. The other fear is that you will fail, that you will go after all kinds of countless other people who have done the exact same work, and they've had great success, and you won't be able to pull it off. That you'll do the activities, you'll do the coaching sessions, you'll go to therapy, you'll whatever it is that you want to do, and it's not going to work because you're too far gone, right? You're broken. And that fear of failure is real because we tend to look at our level of success based on comparing ourselves with other people that did the same sort of thing. And there is that real cause for concern that if you don't have the same breakthroughs, if you don't implement the same level of change, that you'll compare yourself to the next person and you will consider yourself a failure. And nobody wants that, right? Everything in our core being is designed to try to prove ourselves right, even if proving ourselves right means that we are proving this belief that we can't do it. Right? It's simple as that, but difficult to wrap your head around. But here's the thing, when you go through real growth and change work, one of the things that you learn is how to better compare yourself to others, right? To do it differently, to do it in a way that is much more serving of your highest good and your highest needs, compared to the old way of comparing yourself to others or comparing yourself to yourself. Right? Because you will have tackled your beliefs. You will have tackled all these limitations that you had. You will have built your self-esteem and built your confidence at a level that you no longer are capable of thinking in the same sort of ways as you did before. But you are still the same person. You still have your identity in check. You've just pulled out all the positive aspects of your identity and adapted those that were holding you back. Right? The last one is the fear of success. And this goes hand in hand with that fear of unknown because you don't necessarily know what success looks like. And on the flip side, you are also afraid of, well, if I have success, what if I'm not able to maintain it? Right now, I'm sitting here. And so falling from here isn't that great of a distance. I'll be okay. I can brush myself off. I know what that feels like. But if I get myself to here and I fall, that's a long way to go, right? I'm going to have a lot of consequence from not being able to maintain that level. So that fear is real. All of our fears are valid and real. It's just a matter of whether or not we're going to allow them to rule our lives. So if you've been watching this video and you're thinking, oh my gosh, this is me. I've got low confidence, low self-esteem, this horrible mantra that's in my head that's always comparing myself to somebody else. I'm always falling short. When things don't work out in my day or don't go according to plan, my first thought is, well, of course it didn't. Because you're not good enough, not smart enough, not pretty enough, not enough. When I set goals, I purposely get in my way of achieving them because I really don't believe that I deserve them, or I don't believe that I'm capable of getting there. And all of this is starting to dawn on you, make these realizations so that suddenly this comfortable misery is becoming uncomfortable. If you're ready to change all that, change your patterns and your habits, build your confidence and self-esteem, and actually look at those limiting beliefs that you have and adapt them to become beliefs that better serve your highest good, then I've got an amazing course for you that's called the Life Like You Mean It course, which really is life on purpose. It's putting some responsibility back into your life, teaching you what you're getting out of what it is that you are doing, out of behaving in this way, of creating these patterns and these habits for yourself so that you understand what you're getting and can move towards getting the same outcome in a better way, making better decisions, building up your confidence because we've tackled those negative limiting beliefs that don't belong there. And if you're watching the video and you're thinking, gosh, this is me, but I am comfortable in my misery, then please know that that is okay too. Acknowledging it, honoring it, respecting it is really the first step. You will get to a place and time in your life where you will no longer be comfortable with that misery. And when you do, I hope that you remember this video and remember this course that I'm offering up, because I run the course only a couple of times a year. It's a 10-week online course, and it's a group course, which means you get the support, inspiration, and motivation from everybody else, not just on the course now, but everybody else who has taken the course in the past. It's an amazing community that offers so much. And part of this 10-week course not only gets you to take these deep, soul-searching looks at yourself and supporting you every step of the way, but it also includes group coaching calls on a weekly basis using NLP, which is an amazing experience and opportunity. Excuse me. There is also the option for a premium edition, which allows you to, on top of all of that, have one-on-one coaching. So you have options. So whether you are comfortable in your misery now, or whether you realize that you are uncomfortable in that misery, I am here. There are support groups. There are lots of different ways and avenues that we can take for me to help you on your journey, even if you are comfortably miserable where you are now. It's always good to know when you become uncomfortable in that misery, where it is that you can turn for the support that you are looking for. Wherever you are on your path, bless. I wish you all the best, and I'm always here.